Welcome to EPG Pathsala. I am Dr. G. Jeevathinam, working as Assistant Professor in Banarayam Institute of Technology. Today's session about laboratories and sample analysis regulations under FSSAI. Let us start with introduction. Food means any substance, whether processed, which is intended for human consumption and includes primary food, agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, dairying or aquaculture, genetically modified food or food containing such ingredients, infant food, packaged drinking water, chewing gum and any substance, including water used into the food during its manufacture, preparation or treatment, but does not include animal feed, live animals unless they are prepared or processed for human consumption, plants prior to harvesting, drugs and medicinal products, cosmetics, narcotic or psychotropic substances. Food sampling is a process used to check that a food is safe and it does not contain harmful contaminants, or that it contains only permitted additives at acceptable levels, or that it contains the right levels of key ingredients and its label declarations are correct, or to know the levels of nutrients present. A food sample is carried out by the subjecting the product to physical analysis. Analysis may be undertaken by or on behalf of a manufacturer regarding their own product, or for official food law enforcement or control purposes, or for research or public information. To undertake any analysis, unless the whole amount of food to be considered is very small, so that the food can be used for testing in its entirety, it is usually necessary for a portion of it to be taken. Example, a small quantity from a full production batch or a portion of what is on sale in a shop. This process is known as food sampling. Sampling is a procedure used to draw inferences about a lot or population from the results obtained from a sample, and the process to collect representative part so as to obtain information on its quality status related to chemical, biological and sensory, etc. Let us go with the objectives of this session. On completion of this session, you will be able to understand the need for food analysis and know about the global perspective of laboratory quality and procedure of accreditation process certification, know the guidelines for testing labs and functions of food analysis, gain knowledge in food samples and test reporting, etc. So, need for food analysis. The main need for analysis of food is to check the compliance with the regulatory and labeling requirements, assessment of product quality, determination of nutritive value, facilitates world trade, detection of contaminants, and for research and development. So, major food contaminants, the agents that affect the food chemically are pesticides, veterinary, drug, naturally occurring toxins, food additives, metals, allergens, radiological hazards. Biologically, the food is contaminated by the pathogens, non-pathogenic organisms, viruses and GMO. Physical particles that affect the food are foreign objects, stones, gravels, glass, plastic, etc. Global perspective of laboratory quality and accreditation certification. Procedure by which a third party certification body gives a written assurance that a product, process or service of an organization conforms to the specified requirements, that is ISO IEC Guide 2:1996. The certification either specified requirements like ISO 9001 or ISO 14001. Certification assures the client that the organization has in place an effective quality or environmental management system. It does not confer technical credibility of the test result. Certification is not appropriate for laboratories or inspection bodies. Accreditation. Accreditation is the procedure by which an authority body like NABL gives formal recognition that a body or person, means laboratory or signatory, is competent to carry out specific tasks. It covers the criteria like ISO or IEC 17025, ISO or IEC 17020. It assures the client the procedures are technically valid. Also, it recognizes the technical competencies of laboratory staff. Accreditation assures the client that the results are technically valid. It endorses the quality management systems. The benefits of accreditation includes national and international recognition, public and industry acceptance, assurance to clients of good laboratory practice, provides global equivalence, provides comparability in measurements. Decision makers can rely on test results, improves staff motivation, ensures better support in the event of legal challenge, saves money by getting it right at first time. The accreditation followed in India. In India, accreditation is done by National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories, NABL. It is done by autonomous body under the aegis of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Accreditation to labs that perform testing as per ISO or IEC 17025 and 2005. Accreditation process. The accreditation process involves the following stages: pre-request, adequacy assessment, pre-assessment, final assessment, surveillance, renewal every 2 years. Guidelines for testing labs, management requirements, organization management, management system, document control, request, tender and contract review, subcontracting of tests and calibration, purchasing, services and supplies, service to the customer, compliance, control of non-conforming testing and calibration work, improvement, corrective action, preventive action, records, internal audit and management review. The technical requirements are general, personal, accommodation and environmental conditions, tests and calibration methods and method validation, equipment, measurement, traceability, sampling, handling of test and calibration items, assuring the quality of tests and calibration results, reporting and results. And environment and accommodation. A case study that shows a test report is issued by laboratory A shows very high amount of pesticides in the sample. Test reports are issued by laboratory B and C for the same sample shows the pesticides amount to be below detection limits. Laboratory A, on careful evaluation and root cause analysis, found out that analysts were storing samples along with the pesticide CRMS. Testing methods. There are 3 methods available for testing the laboratories. They are regional, national, international. Any non-standard method or a standard method beyond the stated limits is required to be validated as follows: selectivity and specificity, range, linearity, sensitivity, LOD, LOQ, ruggedness, accuracy, precision. Reference materials and standards. The reference material used must have the following qualities, such as the material must provide traceability to international standards, it should have assigned values, it should help its calibration and validation, quality control, it should be purchased from reputed manufacturers or suppliers, it should be of high quality and should be of prepared, stored and checked appropriately. Sampling and sample preparation. Documented sampling procedure, sample registration, subsampling and sample quantity as per test protocols, sample storage or preservation, sample disposal. The assurance and quality control, which includes as follows as interlab comparison, proficiency testing, replicate, duplicate and retesting, IQSC not less than 5% of the total samples, traceability to complete records or observations, date and time. FSSAI lab recognition. Section 43 of FSA Food Standards Authority Act 2006. The FSSAI recognizes labs and research institutions accredited by NABL. It also specifies the functions of notified and referral labs, procedure for sending samples, forms of reports generated by labs. The referral labs functions under Rule 3.5.1, the local area classification under Rule 3.5.2. The notified laboratories functions under the Rule 3.5.3, Section 43 of Food Standards Safety Act, FSS Act 2006, NABL labs and research institutions. The functions of food analyst takes place under the Section 45 of FSS Act 2006. Referral laboratory functions. It includes analysis of samples of food sent by any officer or food authority, investigation for the purpose of fixation of standard of any article of food, investigation in collaboration with the laboratories of the public analysis for the purpose of standardizing method of analysis, ensuring scientific protocols laid down for handling or testing the articles of food to be followed by laboratories, maintaining high standards of accuracy, reliability, credibility and accreditations, laying down mechanism of high professional standards and discipline for personnel, capacity building by organizing professional training, workshops and seminars for the food analysts, laboratory personnel in the states specified by the food authority. The functions of food analysis as per the Section 45 of FSS Act 2006. The function of food analyst on receipt of sample is to compare the seal on the container and outer cover with specimen impressed received separately and note down the conditions of the seal. In case of sample found in broken condition or unfit for analysis, he shall inform to designated officer within the period of 7 days from the date of receipt. The food analyst must also perform the analysis of food samples sent by food safety officers or by any authorized person, and within 14 days of date of receipt of any sample for analysis shall send 4 copies of the report indicating the method of sampling and analysis to the designated officer, a copy of report indicating the method of sampling and analysis of to the person who had purchased food articles with a copy to designated officer. An appeal against the report of food analysis shall lie before the designated officer who shall, if he so decides, refer the matter to the referral food laboratory as notified by the food authority for option. Sample analyst regulations. Sampling involves the selection of a certain portion, number of container and product units from a particular lot of the same food. They are usually collected from a lot of food from unsystematic scrutiny, collection of data for a specific purpose, or monitoring and to determine the conformity to product standards specified in the regulation. FSO may collect samples from any place where any article of food is manufactured or stored for sale, or stored for the manufacture of any other article of food by authorized officer for sale, or exposed or exhibited for sale, or where any adulterant is manufactured or kept. Food safety officer, while taking samples of food or imported article of food analysis, shall follow the specified procedure for taking samples and sending them for analysis. Sampling of food may be conducted for random surveillance, data for specific purpose, monitoring for its satisfactory status on behalf of the manufacturer regarding their own product, for official food law enforcement, quality control or process monitoring, research, public information or survey. The sampling plan. It is necessary to have a proper sampling plan to determine number of food units that will provide a high degree of certainty about the quality aspects of the food lot. They are sampling point, sampling procedure, sampling frequency, sampling personnel, and sampling size. Importance of sample collection. The analytical data generated in the lab needs to be reliable and largely depends on the collection of the delegate sample, sample preparation, analysis using proper methods and instrumentation. So, for a representative sample to be collected, potential sources of variation needs to be identified, minimized or avoided, appropriate sample size, suitable container, appropriate preservative to prevent spoilage or transformation. The types of sampling. Types of sampling includes bulk sampling. It involves the selection of sample from a lot of material that does not consist of discrete, identifiable or constant units. It is governed by number of increments to be taken, size of increments from where in the pile or stream, sampling device to be used, and reasonable size of sample to be delivered to the lab. Acceptance sampling. It involves the application of predetermined plan to decide whether a lot of goods meet defined acceptance criteria. 100% inspection does not guarantee 100% compliance and is too time consuming and costly. It is a statistical sampling so as to accept or reject the entire lot. Precautions during sampling. For reliability of lab test results, it is important that the sample is properly collected, representative of the lot, statistically significant, right quantity and not overfilled, in original and unopened container, clean and sterile containers, clean, dry, leak proof, wide mouthed of suitable size, glass container to be avoided, sterile metal or sterile plastic bags, collected as far as possible in aseptic or sterile conditions. And the sample to include specific examinations may require openers, dippers, borers and probes. Common tools like pliers, spoons, screwdrivers, knife. For microbial analysis, aseptic sampling with the pre-sterilized disposable plastic spoons, pipettes, disinfectant chemicals like IPA or EA, marking pens or sample labels, rubber or latex surgical gloves. Sampling containers that may for liquids, clean, dry, waterproof, grease-proof and autoclavable containers. For solids and semi-solids, clean, dry, wide mouth, cylindrical, waterproof, grease-proof and autoclavable. Containers and closures should be food grade and it must not affect the odor, flavor, pH or composition of the sample. Secure closures is very important. Able to maintain appropriate temperature unless otherwise specified. Refrigerated sample should not be analyzed more than 36 hours after collection. Sample collection technique. When a sample of food is taken for analysis, the person taking the sample shall give notice in writing then and thereof his intention to have the sample so analyze it to the person from whom he has taken the sample, and simultaneously by appropriate means also to the person whose name, address and other particulars have been disclosed under Rule 3.6 of FSS rules. If the subsamples for packaged food are drawn from the boxes or crates, the sample unit should be marked with the numbers and initialed with the date by FSO or authorized officer or for future reference. Wherever possible, the lot which is sampled should be restored to its original condition. If not possible, a satisfactory arrangement must be discussed with the owner. Other related techniques. Product information. Observe the lot from which the sample is to be collected and record relevant observations. Name of the food, lot size, type of packaging, container size or size, product code or control numbers, number of consignments, labeling information, condition of the lot, road broken, rodent or insect infestation, debris, etc. General conditions of the area building in which the lot is stored. For official samples, many food control authorities prescribe the use of special tamper-proof containers or sealing wax with FSO or DO designated ID. The FSO or DO is responsible for collecting the holding, sealing, storing and delivering the sample in a manner that will prevent it from being changed after sampling. When rodent infestation is observed, the FSO or DO should select the portions actually sampled to reflect the violated nature of the lot. In addition, exhibits should include diagrams and photographs to demonstrate the violative conditions reported. Sampling for microbiological analysis. For microbiological criteria for foods, the acceptance to be applied to a lot is based on examination of required number of sample units by defined analytical methods. Choice of sampling plan is statistically defined by taking into account risk to public health associated with the hazard, susceptibility to target group of consumers, heterogeneity of distribution of microorganisms, risk by which good lot is rejected or a bad lot is accepted, international guidelines. Grades of microbiological quality: satisfactory, test results indicating good microbiological quality; acceptable, an index reflecting a borderline limit of microbiological quality; unsatisfactory, test results indicating that further sampling or hygiene inspection is required, follow up; unacceptable, potentially hazardous results indicate immediate attention, detailed risk assessment recommended, enforcement may be required. The quantity of sample to be collected. Under the rule number 13 FSSA, the quantity of sample of food to be sent to the lab shall be specified in the table. The payment of cost, where a food safety officer or the purchaser takes a sample of an article of food for analysis, or an AO takes a sample of imported article of food for analysis, he shall pay the cost of such sample to the person from whom the sample is taken, provided that in the case where the sample of article food is imported, the cost of sample as well as the cost of testing is to be borne by the importer. Sample preparation, sealing or packaging, identification and dispatch. Sample are taken in clean dry bottles or jars in any other suitable containers, which shall be closed sufficiently tight to prevent leakage, evaporation, or to avoid entrance of moisture, and shall be carefully sealed. Then they shall be divided into 4 parts and marked and sealed or fastened up each part in such a manner as its nature permits, and take the signature or thumb impression of the person from whom the sample has been taken. If the person refuses, the FSO or AO shall call upon one or more witnesses, and they take their signature or thumb impression shall be covered completely with the paper, and the FSO or AO shall affix his signature on each joints for the purpose of identification. In case the FBO discloses that the product has been obtained from the manufacturer, the distribution or supplier, and notice shall also given to such manufacturer, distributor or supplier. The label on the sample sent for analysis shall bear code number of the sample, name of the sender with his official designation, date and place of collection, nature of articles being sent for analysis, nature and quantity of preservative if any. The additional information includes grade, UG mark, label number or batch number, name of packing station. So identifying mark shall be permanent. Every subsample must be marked separately. Seal can be self-adhering, specially printed paper sticker with the date, FSO or AO signature. Other adhesive substance such as sealing wax or paraffin that can be imprinted with a special distinctive hologram or design may also be used. The knots or twine or thread shall be covered by means of sealing wax bearing the impression of the seal. The outer covering of the package shall also be marked with the code number of the sample. Sample must be handled and packaged in such a manner that its identity or integrity will not be a doubt. Then they must be secured in shock absorbing material. Frozen food samples must be insulated cartons with dry ice. A jar containing chips of ice may be included as a control. Liquid samples that require chilling must not be frozen. Frozen and fragile packages should be clearly marked. Dispatch or transportation of the sample to the lab should be pre-considered. Frozen, perishable or dangerous items and sent the receiving laboratory must be pre-intimated and pre-scheduled with all details. The documentation includes there are specific formats to be followed by FSO or AO. Form 2, form of receipt for article of food seized. Form 3, to keep any article of food in safe custody of the vendor. Form 4, surety bond by the vendor. And Form 5A or B, notice to person from whom the samples has been taken. Form 6, memorandum to food analyst. The commodity specific sampling which is given with according to the food products with the respective ISO standards. So different approaches to sampling. Sampling plan is devised and developed based on the size of consignment, the characteristics of the product, access to the product for sampling, location and sampling objectives. Random sampling is without bias, not haphazard. Increments must be taken in such a way that any portion of the bulk material has the same probability of being included in the sample. It is generally used when there is very little information available about the material under test, or in the sampling of manufactured products, or in sampling for physical properties, example particle size. The stockpiles of cereals, increments are taken from the surface as well as the interior of the piles. Compact solids, random drilling is employed to break down the sample and all the drillings collected to be obtain a representative portion. Manufactured product for quality control. Use of table of random numbers is frequently employed to ensure that the truly random samples are collected from the batch or consignment. This may be from a line of drums or from packages on a conveyor belt. Systematic sampling. The increments of the sample material are collected at a predetermined intervals as defined in the sampling plan. Example, solid material in motion on a conveyor belt, liquids, manufactured product. Next is stratified sampling. Extension of systematic sampling involves the division of a consignment into groups. Within each group, material is sampled in proportion to its weight or volume as appropriate. Example, wagon load of scrap materials, material slots delivered at different times, sedimented liquid, rivers, lakes or reservoirs. Sequential sampling. Samples are taken at predetermined but random intervals checked to specification to establish whether the results are well within or outside the specification. Sampling technique, Corning and Quaternion. Mix the sample thoroughly on a non-absorbent surface, draw the sample into the conical heap, flatten the top of the heap and divide into quarters. Reject the two diagonally quarters B and C and mix the remaining two A and D. Repeat the whole process until the required laboratory sample is obtained. So let us conclude with the summary of this session. Food is the source of energy for the human being to survive. As there are many modern technologies have developed in the processing of food, it is very essential to analyze the quality of the processed food to ensure the food safety. The quality analysis is done in the laboratory. It is mandatory to certify the laboratory to ensure the food safety. Global Perspective of Laboratory Quality and Accreditation is the certification that certifies the laboratories. In India, accreditation is done by National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories (NABL). FSSAI recognizes labs and research institutions accredited by NABL. It is also specifies the functions of notified and referral labs, procedure for sending samples, forms of reports generated by labs. Here we conclude that the quality and safety of the processed food is good for human consumption when it is analyzed by the certified laboratories. Adulteration causes the economic swindle area when toxic or inedible adulterants are used in human illness and chemical poisoning result. Food control also includes responsibilities for prevention and economic deception. Inspection activities include review of tagging, check of net contents, identify and compositional aspects of food standards, and false and misleading food advertising. Sampling procedures should be worked in accordance with appropriate ISO standards related to commodity of concern. Food sampling is an important tool for ensuring that existing controls in food production are effective in protecting consumers from health risk and fraud. It is reassuring to note that a very high percentage of foods sampled in Scotland across a wide range of foodstuffs are found to comply with the food safety and standards legislation. Very few samples are found to be present an immediate risk to human health, and in all of these cases, the relevant environmental health services took appropriate action to ensure public health was protected. Thank you.